So I want to tell you a story about one of our clients. This past year, we hate to see this happen, but it does. It's the business we're in. But this past year, one of our clients called us, and her house was on fire. And it turns out that the house ended up burning down all the way to the ground. This is a client that's been with us for about 30 years. So a super loyal client, has barely had any claims at all for 30 years. Her and her husband both, just really loyal clients. Her husband passed away a couple years ago. And to get this call for us was devastating, but on her end, I can't even imagine what it was like to see her legacy, what her and her husband had worked to build, burn to the ground. What was cool about their house, and when I went over there to talk to her and we were looking literally at a hole that had filled with water, we were talking about some memories that she had at her house. And I asked her, I said, what are some of your favorite memories you had here with your husband? And so we had this bar in our basement. And this bar was, it wasn't just any bar. In fact, it was back in the 90s, we entered a competition, an Oprah's Best competition. And we won one of the best home bars in the US, and they gave us $10,000. I was like, no way. I said, what did you do with the $10,000? She said, we bought more stuff for the bar. I'm like, holy cow, that's a pretty cool bar. I said, tell me about it. And she went to explain how the bar had these cool tables that were from old bars that they had found in Boston, and they had these different signs that were on the wall for Budweiser and Coors Light, and there were all these different antique bar signs that they had found and collected together. It was something that her and her husband loved to do together. So the signs were not just a sign; it was really a memory. It was a memory of her past with her husband. And so as we stood there and we looked at this hole, my heart broke. We hate having to deal with this, but we know as insurance agents, we're gonna have to help our clients through this time. So obviously rebuilding a house takes a lot of work, but the rebuilding a house isn't near as hard as getting an inventory and remembering everything that was inside of that house. Now, she had a lot of memories of that bar, and she put almost everything that she could remember that was down in that bar because the memories were so deep that she had with her and her husband, those times going to the flea markets and to going to garage sales. Well, the adjuster was a good adjuster for one of our companies we do a lot of business with, but the adjuster didn't understand bar signs. He didn't know that these signs were actually worth $4 or $5. One was worth $1,100 for this bar sign. And so he had given her an allotment of $100 per bar sign. She was a little upset. And again, she wasn't just upset because of the bar sign. She was upset because it felt like all of her memories were just for nothing. And so we sat down with her, and I was able to go kind of line by line, me and a couple people on our team, and we helped actually get values, real-time values of these, whether it's from eBay or other places for reference. And long story short, we were able to get her really fair prices for each one of her bar signs. And for me, it was cool because I was learning a lot about bar signs that I never knew. But for her, it was like she was healing a wound that had just been cut wide open. And so that's what we do in insurance. It's not always fun, it's not always pretty, but I'll tell you, it's really rewarding, especially when we have stories like this that we can share when we go through these hard times with our clients. So if you've ever gone through a claim, we understand, we get it. And if you've not gone through a claim, we want to be there to help you through these hard times in the future.